Etienne Balibar's The Philosophy of Marx is marketed as an accessible introduction to Marx's philosophy, promising to simplify the most challenging aspects of his thought for readers. However, it may not be suitable for beginners due to its complexity and density. Instead, it is better suited for those already familiar with the theoretical debates surrounding Marx's ideas. As a prominent Marxist thinker influenced by Althusser, Balibar is well equipped to tackle Marx's philosophy. Despite the publisher's emphasis on its potential for students and scholars, Balibar insists that Marx's philosophy should not be confined to academic or organizational realms. He stresses that Marx's concepts should not serve as tools for legitimizing institutions, but rather provoke critical inquiry into the relationship between philosophy and politics. Balibar argues that Marx's significance extends beyond academia, marking a pivotal moment in the history of philosophy. Marx's exploration of ideology fundamentally altered philosophical discourse, prompting philosophers to confront the limitations of their own thought. This transformative impact on philosophy redefines its scope and purpose, urging scholars to reassess their understanding of philosophical boundaries and possibilities. Balibar contextualizes Marx's non-philosophy within a broad intellectual landscape encompassing Marxist and non-Marxist thinkers, from Aristotle and Adam Smith to Levi Strauss and Nietzsche. This breadth is the book's greatest asset, avoiding any hint of doctrinaire party lines. It engages not only with Western Marxism, but also with broader Western philosophical discourse. For instance, Balibar illustrates how Marx's conception of transindividual social relations rejects both Hobbesian individualism and Comte's notion of a grand état. While Balibar briefly explores Soviet and Chinese communism through figures like Lenin, Pashukinis, and Mao, it's notable that Trotsky is entirely absent, even from the bibliography appendix. This omission seems deliberate, although the motive is not explicitly stated. The most intriguing and intricate arguments in Balibar's book are presented in the penultimate chapter titled Time and Progress. Here, he grapples with the classification of orthodox historical materialism within a teleological evolutionary framework, which sees societal progress advancing through successive universal stages toward a positively free human community, as envisioned by Marxism. This classification raises two related criticisms. Firstly, Balibar suggests that in the 19th century, it was nearly impossible not to adopt an evolutionist perspective, and Marxism hasn't entirely freed itself from this outdated viewpoint. Secondly, he argues against deterministic interpretations of Marx, which generalize models of Western European capitalism from Das Kapital, and revolutionary praxis from the Communist Manifesto, as universal models of socio-economic development and liberation. Balibar advocates abandoning such deterministic accounts, emphasizing the analysis of class struggle and the subject as practice within specific historical contexts, rejecting notions of a singular capitalism or universal history. Instead, he urges historical materialists to consider capitalisms and singular historicities. What occurred with Marx was a fundamental shift in the locus, inquiries, and aims of philosophy. Nevertheless, Balibar contends that there is no such thing as a Marxist philosophy, and posits two primary reasons for this assertion. Firstly, Marx's endeavor wasn't merely an alternative to philosophy, but often manifested as a counter-philosophy, vacillating between transcending and falling short of philosophical discourse. Secondly, although Marx's ideas don't adhere to conventional philosophical forms, they do exhibit philosophical traits, albeit in a potential multitude of doctrines, rather than a unified system. Balibar argues that the plurality of potential doctrines within Marx's thought was stifled when his writings were consolidated into the dogma of Marxism. However, the waning of Marxism as an organizational doctrine opens up new theoretical spaces to explore Marx's ideas, allowing for a deeper understanding of their philosophical significance. In his examination of Marx's concepts like subjectivity, ideology, fetishism, progress, and determinism, Balibar illustrates how they can operate within specific theoretical frameworks and contexts. By prioritizing concepts over doctrine, Balibar elucidates Marx's philosophy as more intricate and nuanced than traditionally portrayed. Balibar's analysis shines particularly in his discussion of Marx's exploration of commodity fetishism in Capital. He demonstrates how this concept can lead to diverse interpretations, such as reification or analyses of social imaginary structured by monetary language and modes of subjection. By emphasizing the incompleteness of Marx's work while delving into its problematics and axioms, Balibar unveils the contradictions, limits, and possibilities within Marx's philosophy. While the book may not simplify Marx's philosophy, it certainly deepens and enriches our understanding of it. While Balibar's book has received well-deserved praise, there are a couple of shortcomings that should be noted. First, Balibar's frequent references to his former mentor and co-author, Louis Althusser, may appear overly self-referential, reminiscent of a Wacquantian style of writing. For instance, an entire inset is dedicated to Althusser, with mention of Balibar himself. Additionally, the extensive discussion of theories of ideology and the concept of misrecognition necessitates a consideration of structural Marxism through the lens of Althusser. The second weakness lies in the inconsistent analytical standards employed throughout the text. At times, Balibar encourages readers to interpret philosophical questions through Marx's intentions and the letter of the text. At other times, he prompts readers to view Marx retrospectively through contemporary theoretical frameworks, such as performativity, interpellation, and symbolic structures. Moreover, Balibar occasionally suggests reading between the lines. While these shifts in perspective are intriguing, they can detract from the coherence of his analysis. However, the book's 12 textual insets offer valuable context for readers new to Marxian thought. These insets, appearing approximately every 11th page, provide insights into the intellectual biographies of prominent Marxists and recontextualize dogmatic principles or schemas. Topics covered include dialectical materialism, Walter Benjamin, and determination in the last instance. Readers can utilize this text in two primary ways. Firstly, it serves as a valuable tool for revisiting and rethinking core philosophical, political, and anthropological inquiries. For example, Balibar delves into Marx's exploration of the timeless question of human essence and rejuvenates theories such as fetishism, class struggle, and dialectics. Secondly, the book is an excellent addition to course curricula on political philosophy or social theory. Assigning it toward the conclusion of such a course allows students to appreciate the continued relevance of studying Marx, particularly focusing on the young Marx through works like the German Ideology and the 1844 manuscripts. Importantly, Balibar encourages readers to engage with Marx's entire body of work as philosophy, despite its incomplete and pluralistic nature.